Let's now speak with Mehmet Öğütçü. He is a former Turkish diplomat, a former advisor in the Turkish Prime Minister's office, and the author of the book, The New Geopolitical and Economic Journey, Turkey's Next 10 Years. And he joins us from Izmir, Turkey. And Mehmet, let me ask you, President Erdogan says Turkey has the economic infrastructure to withstand these U.S. sanctions. Is that true?
Well, that's true, yes. Turkey is a very strong economy. There's no doubt about that. It's close to $1 trillion economy, and its economy has strong fundamentals. But right now, I don't think that we should deny in any way that Turkey is in a deep crisis, emanating from the trade sanctions and currency wars, as well as domestic mismanagement and incompetence. We have to diagnose the roots of the problem correctly so that we can address them. But I think it's true that Turkish economy is very strong. It's also resilient to crisis, which we experienced in 2001, 2008. So we know how to deal with the crisis. But this crisis is a little bit different, which requires quite honest and correct responses. And because it is the result of not only, as the government is claiming, emanating from sort of foreign conspiracy and plots, but its root causes mainly are domestic. So this needs to be addressed effectively if we are going to get out of this crisis in the near future.
Right, and you say that Turkey's economy is resilient to crises. Now, critics are, as you kind of pointed to, are questioning Erdogan's economic know-how and the solutions that he's proposed thus far. What solutions could Erdogan have up his sleeve that could prevent the economy from falling further into disarray?
Well, I think we have to also underline very, very strongly that Turkey has an international dimension, very strong international dimension. Turkish economy depends extremely on the world economy and international partners, be in terms of international capital flows, be in terms of trade flows, export, import, as well as energy. More than 90% of Turkish energy, especially gas and oil, coming from the outside. Therefore, Turkey is not a country which can survive and also achieve its ambitious developmental goals on its own. It has to engage effectively with the international system. If you deny that, if you say we can be self-sufficient on our own, we don't need our friends, allies, partners, and that's, I think, misleading, and we will see that. And we see some signals that the government is trying to address this denial so far that they can survive on their own, and everything that's coming on Turkey right now are related to foreign conspiracy and plots. And the relations with EU is warming up unexpectedly. And of course, Turkey has stronger relations now than in the past with Russia and China.
Well, Mehmet, if I can ask you, there are those who say the Trump administration sanctions opposed to try to free this pastor, Andrew Brunson, could drive Turkey into the arms of Russia and Iran, a NATO country. Is that a danger?
I don't think it's a danger. Turkey is not a small country that can be pushed here and there. What Turkey is doing right now, rightly or wrongly, pursuing its own domestic interests, national interests, vis-à-vis the US, vis-à-vis the European Union, and in its relations with China and Russia. You shouldn't forget the fact that there hasn't been a significant allied partnership and solidarity with Turkey so far. Turkish story with European Union accession has been longer than almost half a century. It hasn't gone anywhere, let alone accession, but also customs union modernization, free movement of people. And with US, another frustration with the US is rather than working with its NATO allies, US is working with PYD in Syria, which is an arm of PKK, fighting a war against Turkish army and civilians for almost 40 years. So I think Turkish rapprochement with Russia and China in this matter is not just leaving the Western camp and moving to another camp. It has, I think, two strong elements which we should recognize. One is that the world is changing, the power shift, moving from the west to the east, led by India and China.
Mehmet, I think we're going to...
Also, frustration with the West is pushing Turkey to look for alternatives. But it has to be a multidimensional policy for Turkey.
Okay.